Podcast episode 2639. Happy Friday. It is Friday, July the 28th, and we are fresh off our famous Swole Fam Roundtable last night. It's available now for listening inside Swole TV if you missed the live, but it was great from 6 to 8 p.m., a 2-hour conversation with the Swole Fam. It was awesome. It was awesome up to the last minute. So thank you everyone that was there. Make sure you catch the replay if you weren't there for the live stream. It was fire. Available now. Also, today, at the end of today's live stream, we're going right into overtime with a brand new Driving While Gaining. If you don't know what Driving While Gainings are, go on the Swolenormous YouTube channel and check them out. We got some throwbacks. We got a lot of absolutely epic Driving While Gainings, but we don't post them publicly anymore because, well, we fucking get banned pretty much immediately. We kind of got away with it for a while because it was early. It was before all the hardcore censorship. So I'm kind of I'm hardcore shadow banned. My shit barely gets out into the public, but I'm grandfathered in. So my insanity is grandfathered in on social media platforms. And although we've had some kind of hiccups here and there, I think we all agree that, I think YouTube and the algorithms just notice, well, this shit has been fucking insane since 2016. We're just going to let Papa play in his sandbox in the corner and we just won't tell anyone he's there. So you have to come and find my shit. You have to really hunt for it. But we don't post the Driving While Gainings publicly, but we do go hard. We go absolutely fucking deep, but we do it for members. So that'll be going live at the end of today's episode. It'll switch to full private, and the Swole Fam likes to watch inside the Daily Swole Telegram chat. So join the fam, swolenormousx.com, and get access to all those private live streams, the roundtables, the overtime segments with balls deep edits, with Driving While Gaining uncensored, and of course, we have our famous Swole Fam accountability meeting every single Monday. So that's going to be awesome. Very excited for today's overtime. Again, join us over there at swolenormousx.com. And we are going to have, if you're looking to join the Swole Fam, and of course over there, apparel at papaswolio.com. We're going to have some awesome specials going on in about a week because it's my birthday. And we are going to, as we always do around my birthday, we are going to blast everyone with some awesome membership cock and apparel cock, if that's a thing. If not, it will be to celebrate. So keep an eye out for that if you're thinking about joining the Swole Fam. It's going to be fucking awesome, and I will tell you all about it. But that being said, that's what I got for you today. Check all the links down below to check out discounts for apparel, to join the Swole Fam over at swolenormousx.com, and all the other things down to the 7 pillars, try a free yoga class, all that stuff in the description and show notes. And before we go, if you're listening to this, and even if you're watching this, if you're listening or watching this and you have not yet left a 5-star review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, I don't care what podcast app you use to bang your ear holes, but make sure you leave a review because it helps tremendously. Podcasts are a great place to get out content that might be censored when it comes to video formats. So it helps tremendously when people are looking for podcasts or they get suggested something, and they always check reviews. So if you enjoy the show, even if you watch all the time, log into your podcast app and leave us a 5-star review and write a review if you're able to. It helps tremendously, and I love reading them. So I appreciate everyone that has already done so and left a 5-star review. And if you haven't yet, take a moment and do so. It's gonna be awesome to see your feedback coming in. That being said, let's get into today's episode. We got the fam coming in. We are live, and let's fucking go. Episode 2,639 in a row, by the way. And we got some fucking overtime. Here we go. The following program is rated TV MANOC. It contains a big pair of nuts directly on your chin. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
I'm afraid I'm self-diagnosing myself with mental illness.
Just like Tess Holiday. Let's fucking go.
I feel like I might be struggling, but I don't want to appropriate anyone's experience. Help.
Obesity is epidemic in the United States and a major cause of death. What is fat activism?
I, a fat person, am sharing my own lived experience.
Pizza is a vegetable.
Your fat phobia is your problem.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Radical body positivity.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
There's only one man who can help me.
This is for you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
This day we fight!
My name's Papa Swole. Hi, Jenny.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing. Testing, testicles. Welcome, everyone, to episode 2600 and 39 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gamecast, mancast, pimpcast, sleevescast, and slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches, booshes, busters, hustlers, and your hoes? It's your boy Papa Swolio back with another episode. Today's episode of the Beastcast is brought to you as powered is sponsored by Eversting K2, flexing on all you beasts.
The fucking Catalina wine
The fucking Catalina wine mixer.
Yeah. What's going on, fam? How we doing? Welcome to the Friday cast. Very excited about overtime at the end of today's episode. It's going to be awesome. Brand new Drive Mulgaining. Let's fucking go. That being said, what are you smashing today? Drop it in the comments. We have a great swole card. You don't even know what it is. Everyone's doing the hashtag FEF. It's not hashtag FEF, but you're going to like it. You're going to like it because it applies to today's episodes. I promise. All right? Drop it in the chat. What are you smashing today? Hit the thumbs up button. All that good shit. Let's get after it. We had a great roundtable last night, so that's available now for members. But let's get into the Friday cast. Fam, here we go. Let's summon the Falcon and get today's party started. Falcon. Driving while gaining. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that it's driving while gaining. Fuck yeah. All right.
Yow.
Hashtag driving while gaining. Drop it in the chat. We got a brand new driving while gaining coming up in overtime. It's going to be fucking good. So drop that in the chat. Okay, let's get into today's tip. We got a lot to fucking do. So spit on it. Pooah. Babe, just an inch. It's cold outside. All right, first Swole Fam post is from Christian, and she's wearing the most epic merch in the realm, and of course she's smiling. Why wouldn't she be? She's got her Tess Hornaday on and a GTTFG hat. And she writes, feeling all the endorphins after today's beast of a workout. Total body with an emphasis on chest. Enjoyed some sun during today's pump. It's freaking hot, and that's exactly how I like it. It really felt great to lift heavy after a few days of recovery and mobility training. I felt rejuvenated. Don't skip recovery. It's necessary for results. Have a great week, fam. Stay strong, focused, and of course, swole. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Next post here is from Julian. And Julian says, hey, fam, I don't post that often. I just wanted to make a confession. Ooh. This is going to be juicy. This past month, I've fallen off the rails a bit. I met someone that may not have been the best, but I don't blame her. I blame myself 100%. I'm responsible for everything that happens in my life. I've been neglecting my 7 pillars, but I haven't stopped training at least. I've ended that situationship. Situationship. Who you spend your time with is a reflection of yourself, and what I saw in the mirror a couple days ago is not the person I want to be. I'm ready to get back to crushing my goals. Peace out, Beaches. Well, all right. All right.
The little rascal has spirit.
Curious. Now I want details. You met someone. Well, you definitely should blame yourself. I mean, that's obviously, you did that already. That's your responsibility. But awareness is important. And it's only a couple weeks, which is good. Some people get in that shit for years and years and years or their entire life. And absolutely, the person that you spend time with, especially someone that's you're going to be intimate with, that's going to affect you a lot more than the average of the 5 people you spend time with. No, it's going to be, and when I say, when you hear that phrase, you know, you are the average of the 5 people you spend time with, it's really not the average. It doesn't matter. If you have 4 people you spend a lot of time with and they're awesome and you have 1 that's a fucking drag, that 1 makes all the difference. It doesn't matter if it's like, oh, I have 2 good ones and 3 good ones and 2 shitty ones. No. 1, I don't think you're the average of the 5 people. I think you are at the level of the lowest quality 1 person. So even if you have 4 amazing people and 1 shitty one, you're on that shitty person's level. So that's the level that you're on. The chain is only as strong as its weakest link. So I think that needs to be adjusted, that concept. Rory from the discussion boards in Swolenormous X says, "What's up, fam? I'm completely new here. Been listening to the podcast for a couple days and decided to jump right in." That's what I'm talking about. Rory swinging some big dick.
Because dickers.
I've been working on a few of the 7 pillars on my own for a number of years, but I've always lacked the last one, consistency. I'm not an amateur at lifting, but I am an amateur at being consistent and persistent. I'm tired of the yo-yoing from one diet to another, one workout program to another, one lifestyle to another. For the first time in my life, I don't feel any need to follow the next fad thing, and instead, I just want to live a long, healthy, and strong life. I really feel strongly about the no bullshit message this community exudes. First on my to-do list is to go eat some real food, go crush some weights in my garage, and then come back and soak up as much that this family has to offer me. Glad to be here. Let's get all America for Rory. Well said. Popping that cherry. Rory's already stretched out. Might be sore for a couple days, literally and figuratively, but you'll get used to it, and you'll learn to love it. You'll learn to love it. So good for you. And we talk about it all the time when it comes to the 7 pillars, that you could do the first 6, but it doesn't matter if you don't have the 7th. So Rory is absolutely textbook as to what that embodies if you're missing that 7th one. And it doesn't mean that you can't get results. So Rory says he's not an amateur at lifting. Fine. Obviously, you can train. You could be in the gym or have experience being in a gym. Doesn't mean you're doing the right things. And it doesn't mean that even if you're doing the right things, that you're consistent with it. So those are all components. And people think that they're making progress, or they will make progress, because objectively, if you're training a little bit here and there, or consistently for a little bit and then not, which is not consistent. That's like the definition of not consistent. So, or inconsistent, I should say. But just because you're making progress, that's masking over the real problems with discipline. So you can have this fake progress or this surface progress just because you're exposing your body to stress. You're actually exposing your body to stress, and you can build strength. You can build some muscle just because it's a new shock to your body, and your body will adapt even if you do it. Depends on your consistency. But obviously, when you lack consistency, you're going to lack the real purpose and the real discipline and really the beauty of that 7th pillar. So good for you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. So let's get into one more post. We got a response from the email list, and many of you are already on it. But of course, if you're listening to this and you're not on the email list, and you're tired of opening your inbox and just seeing trash, you're not excited when you see that number next to your Gmail, your Apple Mail. You're not excited. You're going to get spam. You're going to get all these dirty bloody, bleeding AIDS dicks covered in COVID. You don't want any of that. You don't want to swallow those loads. You don't want any of that because that's bad cock. You don't want bad cock. No BC. You want the real KC. You want the knowledge cock. So if your inbox is feeling like shredded roast beef, I'll make your inbox feel like it's 1993. I'm going to make it feel like you're going to be opening my emails and hearing psh, psh, beyong, beyong, burp, burp. You're going to hear that dial up. You're going to hear that dial up. You're going to hear that dial up connection. Make you feel like you're on dial up again. So get my knowledge cock in your inbox. Go to makeemailswoleagain.com. Again, makeemailswoleagain.com. And I will make you feel like it's your first email you've ever opened. Let's get into this one. Andrew responded to the "Does calorie counting work?" email. Andrew says, "Hey, Swole Master." I like that. "Hey, Swole Master, I am new back into the gym. About 12 years ago, I hurt my back pretty good. I couldn't take the impact of running, and my training knowledge was more limited than I cared to admit. But this year I decided my 5'9" frame would not and should not be supporting 220 pounds and a 36-inch waist. I got back into the gym. I knew through podcasts like yours to eliminate junk and eat better, more whole foods. With that said, and a little outside influence, I was able to trim down to a 31-inch waist and 180 pounds in about 5 months. Good for you.
Yow.
I wasn't counting my calories, but was being more aware of what I was eating. If it was made at home, it didn't go my face hole. I think you meant to say if it wasn't made at home, it didn't go my face hole, but you guys get the point. Eliminating sugars and pop and drinking 64 ounces of water a day. Once I plateaued, I seeked out help from my local gym trainer and feel better than ever. Your casts give me a good laugh and great info. Thank you, Andrew in Muskoka, Ontario, Canada. Wow, that's fucking fantastic. I don't have the Canadian anthem, but I got a little America for you. So thank you for the response. Good for you. That's awesome. So you lost 40 pounds in 5 months. Of course, you put on some muscle, 36-inch waist to a 31-inch waist. That's fantastic. Good for you. Good for you. All right, let's get into some questions. I sought, not seeked. That's right. I sought out. You sought the trainer. You sought out those sick fucking gains. Good for you. Okay. So let's get into some questions. If you have any live questions, hashtag AskPapaSwolio. We only have some from Instagram today. And let's take the first one from TJ Foster, 2008. And TJ says, or asks Papa Swolio, who is going to carry the boat? The same people, the same person that's going to carry the fucking logs. You know what I'm saying? Little Goggins reference. Okay, Jordan BT07, Papa Swolio, any advice on how to reduce the fat in my lower abdominal area? Yeah, close your fucking mouth.
Inconceivable!
Stop eating trash. Do an elimination diet. I highly recommend it. All right. I am Lakshay 7. Papa Swolio, should we work on triceps more than that of biceps? Yes and no. Triceps make up more of your arm, but it's still a body part, and you can easily just train triceps and biceps the same in terms of volume and, of course, in terms of intensity. You just have to make sure you're training them properly and consistently. And some people have overdeveloped body parts. Some people just have amazingly developed triceps. So when it comes to any of the programming, for example, the new Maximum Swole program, you can adjust your split depending on what you have to focus on. So just because I might do a certain split doesn't mean you should do the same exact split, because if you have a body part that's very developed, that responds a lot to what you're currently doing, or it's overpowering your body. Some people have certain body parts that are just very well developed genetically. They hyper respond to movements. So you don't have to train them as often or train them with as much focus. You might only need a couple sets a week or in a cycle period or a split period, because, you know, I'm trying to get all of you off that week, 7-day protocol. But in your training cycle, whether that goes for 5 days for the cycle or repeats every 10 to 14 days, just make sure that you are focusing more attention. Doesn't necessarily need more volume, but you're putting more of a focus on areas you have to bring up from a strength and aesthetic and just a body mechanical balance standpoint. So that's going to depend on the person. But aside from that, if they equally need to be worked on, then work them equally in terms of volume and intensity and train them hard. A lot of it comes down to what position. And another thing is we talked about this last night in the roundtable. You don't want to have too many redundant movements. A lot of people do the same movement. They'll do 3 or 4 different exercises, way too many sets, for example, but it doesn't matter. They'll pick 2 or 3 different exercises and they're kind of hitting the same thing. They'll do flat bench press with a barbell. They'll do flat dumbbell press. And then they'll do, I don't know, let's say a flat machine press, or they'll do just flat flies or something, which, that's a little bit different, but you're essentially doing the same angle with more or less the same joint position. There's a slight different strength profile with flies or a pec deck, but a lot of people do repetitive movements. They'll do 3 different exercises that kind of hit the same body part in the same way. So you get a lot of redundancy. So as long as you make sure that things like the chest, things like the back, for example, not so much chest, but a little bit more. Chest is more of the angle, whether you're doing incline or decline or flat. Back, for example, it's very important to adjust your elbow position. So depending on where your arms are, you'll hit more upper back, more posterior deltoid. And as you bring your arms closer, you want to hit different elbow angles, but different humerus angles, different shoulder joint angles, which will hit different aspects of your back. So that's important. But a lot of people, when they do back, they'll just do a lot of this movement here, or elbows really close to the body. They'll do cable rows like this. They'll do a machine row like this. They'll do a one-arm dumbbell row like this. They'll do a pull down like this. And their elbows already getting, certain exercises will get certain stretch in specific muscles, but they're just hitting the same muscles in different starting lengths. So it's very redundant, and that's why they don't have a fully developed physique or back, because they're not fully developing it. Just keep that in mind. Okay, that was a big answer for not, well, I think it explains it a little bit more depth. Megan on the live chat, Papa Swole, I'm having a problem with a burning sensation. Well, in my left Achilles. Gotcha. In my left Achilles tendon randomly. Not sure why. Calves are not tight, in my opinion. Well, it sounds like they are, but tight is relative. So a lot of people think just because it's burning doesn't mean it's tight. Tightness is only tight relative to the opposing joints. So it depends. A burning sensation randomly. Well, if you can't give me any more information, I don't know why you'd have a burning sensation. What's your shoes like? You're wearing high-heeled shoes or sneakers all the time with an elevated heel? Are you practicing yoga? Are you doing anterior tibialis work and toe raises? There's a lot of things that you can and should be doing. For example, if you want to develop your calf muscles, I don't want to get too far off topic, but if you want to fully develop your calf muscles, they respond to stretch. So you need to get that full stretch holding for 3, 5, 10 seconds. Partial repetitions, lengthened partial repetitions are very important for developing calf muscles. Most muscles respond much more to lengthened partial reps than full peak contractions. Full contractions are important, but to complete failure, lengthened partial reps are important. But stretching. Megan says, mostly barefoot all day at home. Yes, yoga, and yes, toe raises. Cool. How long have you been doing that stuff for? When you say randomly burning sensation, that doesn't help me at all to give you an opinion. Matthew, so much junk volume with redundancies. I went through my routines and holy fuck, I need to unlearn that mental split without redundancies. Yeah. So if you think about it, a lot of people do a lot of volume, right, Matt? But they do a lot of volume and they do a lot of, so you might be doing 4 sets of 4 different exercises, but 12 of those fucking sets first, that's way too much volume. And you're just doing the same movement. So you're just beating a dead horse, right? So I like different exercises, but you just don't need a lot of volume for each one. You could just do 4 total sets to complete failure. Get 4 different exercises. Just get those different angles in. So Megan, should I back off training and do mobility instead? Do you do long isometric holds, like in a full stretch? Do you do long stretches and mobility work for your calves? Like, what have you been doing? Hairy monkey feet. Okay. Hello, Papa. What kind of materials and or chemicals do you use to clean your household? It's a good question. We use really clean products. I forget what they're called. I forget what it's called. Mama Swolia orders it. But, whatever we use, it's phthalate free, paraben free, all that stuff. But you can use apple cider vinegar. You can use white vinegar. We use a lot of things like white vinegar and hydrogen peroxide and baking soda. We use a lot of that. So is it Molly's? Is that the peppermint? Is that the laundry stuff? I always forget the names. I think you get it on Amazon. So we use that. And that has some baking soda and peppermint natural oils on it. And then I put some, for when we're washing clothes, I'll put a scoop or two of that in, then I'll put in some hydrogen peroxide so it can, as like the pre-wash in our washing machine. And then the dryer, for example, I'll use those 100% organic like wool balls, and you can put essential oils on that so you can help them dry, and you don't want to use dryer sheets and things like that. Those are awful. So you can use a lot of different things to clean the house, but white vinegar and baking soda is amazing. And you can even use apple cider vinegar. There's so many, you just dilute these things to a point where you're not just pouring vinegar, because that'll stink for a while. Okay, let's see here. Megan, following the new program and incorporating yoga on off days, haven't been calf specific every day, just toe raises a few times a day when I'm bored. Well, treat your toe raises like you would any other body part. You don't need tons of repetitions, you need quality ones. So you want to improve the strength, you might want to do some more mobility for the calves in terms of seated calf raises, holding for like 5 to 10 seconds in a full stretch and then go into full contraction, or doing higher repetitions, but really focusing on that stretch under load. So you said mostly when you're walking and doing chores outside, you just get burning in your calves. Yeah, I couldn't really tell you. Maybe you have some imbalances or things in your feet. You might want to look into getting your gait checked. It could just be how you're balancing. You ever injure yourself? You ever hurt that foot or hurt the opposing foot? You ever have any injuries with your hip or something like that put you out, broke a leg, might have caused you to walk differently for a while, or guard different parts of your, like hurt your knee or things like that? A lot of times when someone gets injured, they hurt their right ankle and then they're leaning on their left leg for a long time. And then once you heal, your gait is permanently kind of changed. You're not paying attention to it. You didn't do corrective exercise or therapy. And over the course of months and years, that different pressure on that one side that's imbalanced now causes tendonitis and issues on the other side. And then you're like, I don't know, out of nowhere, it's just burning, but it's because you've been limping or a different gait for like 3 years, 5 years. Tammy says, my pig eats off the floor, so I do my floors with white vinegar and a few drops of lemon essential oil. You have a pig in your house. You're one of those people. You're a pig person. You're one of those pig people. I know your kind. Danny, Papa Swole, are there negative effects having Bluetooth headphones in your ear all day? I have mine in like 8 hours a day. Yeah, I can't see how it's good. There are a bunch of stuff online to talk about, AirPods that are crazy radiation and stuff. Yeah, I mean, none of that is good. Here's the thing. There's Bluetooth, there's Wi-Fi going through my ball sack right now. I'm not wearing like EMF underwear or an EMF jock strap. So I think it really depends on how much of a noticeable difference. You can create a Faraday cage and get those sheets and things around your bed and stuff like that for sleep. I would just use them sparingly. I still tend to use mine sometimes, or I'll download a podcast and I'll put the phone in my pocket and I'll have like wired headphones. I mean, I wouldn't have them in my ear all day long. But the thing is, if you're at home or you're in an apartment or you're somewhere, you're getting this shit everywhere, right? So, for example, it's like, oh, turn off your Wi-Fi in your house at night. Okay, I turn off the Wi-Fi. If I turn off the Wi-Fi and turn off all that stuff, you do a Wi-Fi search. If you're searching on your phone, you know how it brings up every Wi-Fi connection in your area. It doesn't matter. My neighbors have Wi-Fi. Like it's not fixing anything. So if you're in an apartment and you turn off your Wi-Fi router, you're still getting it from your 100 neighbors. So it almost doesn't matter. But yeah, I wouldn't leave them in all the time. They're so convenient and they work so well. It's easy to just like leave them in, or it's easy just to just put one in, maybe listen for a little bit. Or if you're on a call, just keep it more minimal. Maybe use the wired ones. I don't know if you guys know this, but if you're on Spotify, you could download a podcast. If you're listening to a podcast, put in airplane mode. One thing that I do is if I ever have my phone in my pocket, it's always on airplane mode. I don't put my phone in my pocket unless it's on airplane mode. And turn the Bluetooth and Wi-Fi off. You don't want that because it's always constantly searching, and it's trying to search through your ball sack. So if you're putting your phone in your pocket, ladies, don't put your phone in your back pocket with cell on and Wi-Fi on. Like, this is known to negatively affect your body, especially right by your organs. People put their phone right in their pocket. It's just like shooting their fucking taint nonstop. So, you know, when you're asking, are there negative effects? You'll find research that says nothing, and research but logic and common sense. It's like, just don't, you know, once in a while, like, you're around it anyway, but you don't have to like put it inside your body. In other words, like you can absolutely use wired headphones, or just play it on speaker. Like if you're talking on the phone, use a speakerphone. Just hold it away from your face so it's not on your ear. And if you're listening to a podcast, download it, then put your phone in airplane mode. But yeah, I think that kind of stuff, I think it definitely is not a good thing. The question is, how much do you expose yourself to it, and how much do those habits negatively affect you? And removing those things, how much would that improve versus what you're already exposed to around you? I mean, if you live in the middle of nowhere and you're just blasting yourself, I mean, if you get rid of it, it can dramatically improve. But I recommend making like a Faraday cage, or getting those EMF blocking sheets or blankets or canopies and stuff in your bedroom. I'm probably going to do something like that. And you can test it with like an EMF meter and things like that. It's legit. It's legit. And it's just logic and common sense. People just don't want to address. It's like food. It's like food. Like, oh, you're being ridiculous and you're a conspiracy theorist. I'm just using my brain. Maybe you can't think clearly because you're suffering from all this shit going through your head all the time. But just think logically. It doesn't mean you use Wi-Fi for 5 minutes. It's going to give you fucking cancer. But we're just submerged in this stuff all the time. So people get overwhelmed and like, well, I can't get rid of it all, so I'm not going to do anything. Just make better choices. Right? If you have Wi-Fi, it's like, don't put your AirPods up your asshole. There's no need to. Put them on a speaker or something like that, or plug it in. You know, old school CD player or something, or get an MP3 player. People are like, how do you download music anymore? But you can listen to shit on airplane mode if you download it. Whatever. But then you have that's what I do. Rihanna says I typically only use AirPods when I'm on a call. Past that, 80% of the time I play on speaker. Yeah, I mean, you know, if you have Bluetooth on, even when it's connected, it's constantly like, you know, circulating. So if you have it on a speaker and you're near it, it's still going through you. But again, it's like, in other words, if you have a choice, try to make a better choice. Try to be cognizant of it. You can go real hardcore and get rid of all that stuff. Like I said, I can turn off the router at night. We're on the other side of the house in terms of where the office is. But it's like, you know, it'll pick up the neighbors or the buildings behind. So unless you're like blocking off your entire house. You see, that's the thing. Tiff says, wait, so they don't go up your asshole. They don't. See, this is why we have the podcast. I'm telling you, the more you listen, guys, you will learn you will learn how to improve your day to day. So Tiff, yeah, they don't go up your asshole. I'm glad you're watching live. But I will say, yeah, in terms of headphone, like, you have to be very careful because you're funneling, even when it's low, you're funneling that sound. Don't blast your ears. Even with loud music outside, a lot of times I just lift without music on. But it's very damaging to your hearing, even at like low levels. So if you can, don't use headphones, especially very, very low if you're going to do it. People blast the fuck out of music and shit into their ears. Oh my God, they're going to have huge problems. And of course, and there's so much noise pollution too. People underestimate how much things like lawnmowers or all these things, woo, negatively affects. You're not supposed to have sounds like that close to you all the time. And it's cheap. Just get a fucking little earplugs. Boom. I'll do that. I'm going to do some weed whacking. Just put like the headphones on that I use at the gun range. All right. Oh yeah, I train without music. I love training without music. Sometimes I'll play it, but a lot of times I just like to push hard. I don't need music to fucking get me amped. I don't need music to get me amped in the gym. It's me and the weights. You need to push this as hard as you fucking can for a few times. I don't need like, I love techno. I love shit like that. But no, I don't need it. I don't need it to fucking go ape shit. All right. Filippo Sterk. What are your best exercises for coordination and agility? Just do yoga. That's not agility per se. But if you're not practicing yoga, that'll help tremendously. Thanks for the question. All right. Boo Boo the Kid. I think we've read one from that screen name before. I remember because it's fucking weird. What is the best hour to do an intensive weights workout? Whatever works best for you that you can be consistent with. Some people train at different times during the day. I would just say be consistent. The more consistent you are, the better you'll be with your nutrition, your focus. And for those of you that might be training later in the day and you're going to start training first thing in the morning, just keep in mind, you're going to feel funkin'. I was going to say fucking or funky. You're going to feel weird when you first start doing it. You're going to feel kind of draggy. You might get into it, but you have to get used to putting that kind of effort and that intensity first thing in the morning if you're shifting into it. So don't just do one time and be like, oh, I was kind of tired and I don't like training in the morning. You got to get used to it, and you will get used to it. I promise. Because I did that too. It feels a little bit funky. You're like, oh, you just feel like soft. Like I can't train hard. Just get warmed up and you'll be fine. First thing in the morning is great too. If you do that, I like earlier in the day. I'll either do in the morning or I'll do in the early afternoon, but earlier in the day, bias it towards that. Bookworm, I'm terrible at time management. Time blindness. I hear you.
Matt Damon.
Not you, Matt Damon, but the time blindness videos. If you've been watching the podcast lately, you know what I'm talking about. All right, let's see. Maybe a couple more questions if you got them live. Maybe one or two more. Let's see. Nathan the Bull. Leche del Toro. Thoughts about boxing being your workout? My thoughts on it? Well, if you want to get better at boxing, then that's probably a good idea. If you want to build muscle, that's not a good idea. So there's that. Like, these kind of questions. What are your thoughts about boxing being your workout? Are you trying to become a marathon runner? You might not want to do a lot of boxing then. You trying to get absolutely jacked? You probably don't want to do a lot of boxing then. What are you trying to do? I don't have any thoughts on it. It's the same thoughts about paragliding. I'm not going to go do it, but a lot of people love it. Okay. Thoughts about painting on canvas. If you like to paint, it's probably a good idea. But if you're trying to build muscle, lift heavy fucking weights, get a good strength training and bodybuilding program, don't do CrossFit if you want to build pick a goal and do that. Pick a goal and do what it takes to build, to get that. Okay. Starting off the screen name with a fucking underscore. That's a big L. Taz J. Papasoli. How to go gym when I'm 14 and broke? Get job, make money, or train at home. There's two options. Make money to go to the gym. I don't know if they'll let you in at 14. Sometimes it's 13. Sometimes you need an adult, whatever, 16. Or train at home. Make money. And if you're 14, you're like, well, I can't go get a job somewhere. Then go door to door and ask, hey, for 10, is there anything I can do around the house for $10 or $20? I can clean out your garage. I can bring stuff. Sometimes you'll go to a house where there's an elderly person and they have all this trash in the backyard. Like, hey, we'll give you $30 to clean all out. Boom, there's your money. Just got to hustle a little bit. Mow lawns, take out trash, paint someone, you know. Some people just need odds and ends. Hey, is there anything around the house or around your backyard I can do? Yeah, we have a lot of branches and stuff. I haven't got around to clean it. I'll do it for $20. And they give you $20, you go and you do it. Boom. You don't need a... Axel Yared, chest day is best day? Okay.
Matt Damon. I didn't know they stacked shit that high.
What does that even mean? No. Training, today is the best day because it's the only day you have. You don't have tomorrow, you don't have yesterday. So every day is the best day. Ile Vaknin, 6. Pop Soy, what do you think about creatine? Daddy like creatine. Take it. You just need like 5 grams a day. You don't need tons. You don't need to load. It's good whether you're bulking or it's great for your muscles. It's great. You get in meat. It's totally fine. You don't need fancy shit either. Z37 Hugo. Papa Solia, will I ever find the love of my life by going to the gym? Yes, you will. You'll become the person that you love and you'll respect yourself and you'll develop as an individual. And via that metric, you will make better choices with whom you spend time with if you truly love yourself and you take care of yourself. Pedro El Superman, Papa, what do you think about Ozempic?
Go fuck yourself.
That's what I think about Ozempic. If you want to shit yourself in the middle of the night, take Ozempic. If you're a fat, lazy fucking, I need a pill. Oh, but it's a medication, but I have trouble losing weight. I have trouble. No shit. You have trouble losing weight. Yeah, because you eat garbage and you don't exercise and take care of yourself and do anything to do it properly. I wonder why you don't get results. Hey, Papa Swolio, I punch myself in the dick 10 times a day and I'm having trouble having a child and ejaculating. And it's all swollen and bruised. Stop punching yourself in the dick. All right, we're ready. Let's go balls deep. We're ready. We're good. We're good.
He's on fire!
We're good. That's a sign. That's the sign. There's certain things that all of a sudden just, okay, we're done. We're good. We're good. Oh, that was the last question anyway. Thank fucking God. All right. Yeah, Stacy, Papa with the love advice. I feel like I want to do it on the show. I want to do it on the show. Hey, it's the Swole hour. You know, I'm ready. It's Papa Swolio After Dark, giving you smooth jazz with Papa Swolio. All right. Bookworm, I've never pooped myself while on Ozempic. I don't have any of the side effects from Ozempic. Yeah, not yet. I would not take that shit, personally. Frightening shit. Frightening shit. Just change your fucking habits. You don't need that garbage. You don't need that fucking garbage. All right, let's get into... Oh. Wow. Oh, fucking wow. Pick a number. Wow. 1, 2, 3, or 4. Let's do it. Pick a number. 1, 2, 3, 14. 1, 2, 3, or 4. 1, 2, 3, or 4. Don't take chemicals straight to your anus. Don't put chemicals up your anus.
You went full retard, man.
Oh, let's see here. Danny boy, numero dos. Yow. Men can't make jokes. That's the title. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say it's pretty much only men that are funny. Ever listen to some female comedians? Good luck finding one that actually is good. And that's not being sexist. That's just a fact. Some can. It's not often. All right. Men can't make jokes. I'm just saying that based on that. Here we go.
What's in the box?
Okay, I think we need to have a conversation about punching up versus punching down. Punching up in a comedic setting is when you are, say, making fun of a more powerful or privileged group than the one that you are in. So, for example, a woman making a joke about men or an LGBTQ individual making a joke about cis-het people, that would be punching up. And because women and LGBTQ individuals are part of a more marginalized, less powerful, less privileged group, it is acceptable for them to punch up at the more powerful groups. Punching down is when you are in a more privileged or powerful position and you are punching down, making fun of a more marginalized group than yourself. Because you are in that position of power, it is not acceptable to make that joke. So when a lesbian makes the joke that straight women's existence is proof that sexuality is not a choice because who would willingly date men, that is punching up. So that is punching up at men who are arguably the most privileged and most powerful in our society. It's also punching up at straight women, and yes, women are part of a marginalized group, absolutely. However, straight women are more powerful and privileged in our society than lesbian women.
I tuned out, I'm
That
lost.
is why that joke would be considered punching up. And the people who didn't like my video, a lot of the comments were like, oh, well, if you swap the genders, then it's not okay. Well, yeah, because then you'd be punching down. Or if you were to say the existence of lesbians is proof that sexuality is not a choice because who would want to date women?
Punch.
That is punching down because
I'm ready to punch.
like that's just making fun of women and also making fun of lesbians. So that is the difference between punching up and punching down and why it is acceptable to punch up and not to punch down.
Shut up, bitch!
Yeah,
God damn it, I don't know what it is about your face, but I want to deliver one of these right in your suck hole.
Is there anything I can do to
I will
work
be
on
honest.
that?
No, not really. It's
I
your
will be
face.
honest. I like zoned out for a second, and then I came back and I was like, "Oh, I have no idea what you said." I really do not know. I guess she was talking. Yeah, I mean, I stopped. I didn't pay attention. I was literally listening and watching, and all of a sudden my brain just went, and I'm like, "Oh shit!" I came back. I have no idea what you're talking about. So anyway, I'm done. I'm good. I mean, apparently it was. Everyone's like, "Shut the fuck up!" Oh, you're in. Yeah. So I'm assuming you all heard that. We're not listening to that again. Yeah, Danny boy. Sorry, everyone. Yeah, thanks, Danny. Great.
How dare you?
All right, Danny is banned. Danny, go sit in the corner. There we go. Okay, anyone else? Let's go number 1, number 2, or number 3. Number 1, number 2, number 3.
Crucifixion is good. Out of the door, line on the left, 1 cross each.
Oh. Look at the cute. Look at the fucking cute. You are so cute. You are so cute. I love you, church. You are so cute. I love you, Charlie. You're so cute. And the Tainty Man's behind tons of shirts again. I gotta clean those up. Maybe today. The corner of shame. That's right. That's what we should have the shame corner. I need to have like a whole thing for that. What do we got here? Shame.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
You want that was just like Dumb and Dumber. You want to hear the most annoying sound in the world? All right, save us, Matthew. Matthew Riley, let's go. Let's see if we can salvage that. So we had Danny, now we have Matt. The next one we're gonna go with a swole slut. So let's see if Matt can save this for the men in the swole fam. Then we're gonna go. We'll see if we can. We'll see if Matthew can salvage that. This is called Books for Fat Kids. Well, swing and a miss.
Y'all, when I was a kid, finding books that contained positive representation of fat people was next to impossible.
When you were a kid, finding books that gave you were you looking for them? Is that something that people are like us? Where are the fat people in my books? Because that's what kids do. They're looking for fat representation. What a grift.
For a very long time, we were either completely absent from stories, or if we were included, we were portrayed as lazy and unlovable, people whose only hope for happiness lied in our ability to change our bodies. That's why I'm so
White
excited
Bitches
about
is crazy,
the
bro.
recent crop of books that are being published for young people that help them see all bodies as being worthy of love and affirmation.
We used to have Everyone Poops. Remember that book? That's the best book of all time. Everyone Poops. Yeah, everyone poops. All bodies being worthy of love and affirmation. Yeah, let's promote being fat and lazy. You're not fat by accident. You're not fat by accident. You're fat as a product of your habits. And sometimes you have bad habits for so long, your body gets fucked. It still doesn't mean that it's not a product of your habits.
One of those very books is A Work in Progress by my friend and all-around excellent human, Jarrett Lerner, who will be joining me in conversation on August 1st at 7:30 p.m. for a very special Library Girl and Friends event all about books that help kids tackle and understand body image. Of course, we'll be talking about A Work in Progress, but we'll also be talking about lots of other books that represent bodies of all shapes and sizes in positive and affirming ways. Registration is free, and there will be a recording if you register in advance. So,
okay.
And my existence, while grotesque
We're done.
and incomprehensible to you, saves lives.
Not just like listening to a fucking pitch. Yeah, I will be joining on. Yeah, I'm going to join in on that. Can't wait to listen to people talk about representing, again, that veil of kindness, a representation, and affirming ways. Affirming. There's your problem. Okay, let's not address the reality of death and disease. Let's not address anything about responsibility, about what real food is versus corporate marketed chemical trash. Let's not create any good habits. Let's just be like, well, you're just the way you are. You're just the way you are for a reason. Let's affirm it. That's just how you are. You're beautiful just the way you are. You don't change. Don't change for anyone. Just because you hate your life and you hate your body doesn't mean your own brainwashing should be passed down to children. Lemon Rock, kids weren't typically fat when she was a kid. When I was a kid, commercials were all about eating right and exercising. Tell me y'all remember Don't Drown Your Food. I don't remember that. Does anyone else know that? But yeah, kids weren't fat. It wasn't common like it is today. It wasn't as common. Still a result of habits. And think about it. Think about it. Don't you agree that there's a reason why obesity has the correlation to being lazy and not moving? Now today it's like, well, that's just rude. You know, all bodies are good bodies, health at every size. There's a reason why stereotypes are stereotypes. And I'm not saying that that's what a stereotype is. A stereotype doesn't mean that it's true across everything, but stereotypes are often stereotypes for a reason because it's so common with whatever genre or avenue you're talking about. It's so common that it just kind of been extrapolated into like something people associate with a race of people or a certain type of habit from someone. That's why stereotypes come out. So when you have these fat activists that are always talking about, you know, not all people that are overweight or obese are fat or are lazy. It's associated with laziness. Well, now people are fat for different reasons. And what I mean by that is the type of food people eat today and the amount of estrogenics and toxins in our environment can make people and are keeping people a lot more unhealthy than in the past. In the past, we weren't exposed to all those things. So overconsumption was like pretty much overconsumption and underutilization, right? Eating too much all the time and not moving. So it was like fat and lazy. It's like you were lazy because you're just eating a lot and not moving because that's how you got fat. Now it could be your deodorants, right? Fucking up your hormones. It could be all these other things, environmental factors that can also lead to that. So it's like, well, I'm not lazy. I go and I exercise, and they're going and just doing cardio, and they're eating Caesar salads, and they wonder why they can't lose fat and blah, blah, blah. Okay. So just saying. But that's why it became like, fat and lazy, because people got fat by eating too much and not exercising, period. We're not moving enough. Okay. 1 second. Let me add this. All right, let's see here. We got time for 1 or 2 more. Ladies, pick a number, 1 or 2. Oh, that was nice.
What's in the box?
There's tiny tuck, typical tuck, total tuck, and the tyrannical tuck.
All right, here we go. Number 1, number 2, and we're picking a vagina for this one. We're doing so.
Boys have a penis. Girls have vagina.
Only vaginas on this one. Cream.
It's so good, precious.
All right, let's go with the vagina for. Let's go with Michelle. Michelle, number 2. People tuning to the show, a vagina for number 2. Interesting. All right, MASH. Shane says, kind of wish you would lose that tuck soundbite. Just saying. I'm never going to lose it. Why would you say something as atrocious as that, Shane? All right, number 2. I'll lose the soundboard when it isn't applicable anymore, right? I'll stop using that soundboard when people stop saying ridiculous shit like that. It's cringe. Oh, it's cringe. It's cringe, but I won't stop using it. All right. This is titled Why Misgender. Come on, Mashelle. Let's do it.
Understand why in the year 2023, doctors are still forcing their trans patients to sit there and misgender themselves multiple times over and fucking over again to satiate their confusion and curiosity, and how they seem to just not be able to understand how I said I take testosterone because I am transgender, my body doesn't produce its own, and then later saying how, like, referencing my pregnancy and this and that, and she just
didn't
get it. Just didn't fucking get it. Just had to, like, really drill it in that she was confused, despite the fact that I said I am transgender, I take testosterone, and then her just be, so how are you pregnant? Do you have a uterus? Do you have this? Do you have that? Are you female? Are you female? Are you female? Do I fucking look female?
If you're pregnant, you're a female. You don't look female. You have a full beard. But if you're pregnant, you are a female, because men can't get pregnant.
Emotional damage.
Anyway, I'm still not any closer to getting the referral that I need for the bronchoscopy to find out about the hole in my lung. But at least my new PCP got me to say that I'm female. So there's the American healthcare system in a nutshell.
Are there any women here today?
Let's do one more because it's Friday. Oh, I forgot we have overtime. We have overtime coming up. Oh my goodness. We have overtime coming up, fam. Check it out. All right, so in just a few minutes, we're going to be going into the Daily Swole Telegram chat, and we have another amazing overtime segment. Get ready for that. It's going to be awesome. All right, we'll do that in the Daily Swole Telegram chat. Join us, swolenormousx.com. You still got time to join and be there for the OT. The link to the Telegram chats are in your Get Started series and on your homepage when you log in. But we got one more. So let's do this one. Let's just get rid of it. Well, digitally. Size versus what we eat. One more.
What's in the box?
One more at the buzzer for 3.
Okay, let's talk
Airball.
about this. Eating food is not wrong. It's not immoral. You're not a bad person.
Eating food's not immoral? Oh my goodness. Thank God. Thank God, because I eat frequently. I felt like a terrible person. Papa Swole, why are you eating steak? You ate another burger. You ate an apple. Because every time I eat, I think about my morality.
That's that. The other thing I want to talk about is about size. We all must know at this point that our size is not an indicator of how much we eat, with exceptions, of course. There are
with exceptions for fundamentally you're eating like, okay, Jacqueline Black over here. It's directly related. Just directly related.
So many things that affects our size and our weight and our body. Genetics, the metabolism, how we get treated, stress levels, hormones, medication. That's just a few reasons. You can be fat and eat little food and still be fat. You can be skinny and eat a lot of food and still be skinny.
Yeah, exceptions don't make the rule.
It's time that we stop policing people's bodies, people's foods.
No one's policing anyone's bodies and no one's policing anyone's food. Just because you don't have self-control and you're not doing things properly, which is factual. Look, again, people aren't educated properly about nutrition. I haven't always been doing things optimally, but it's objectively a reality. People don't take care of their environments. They don't take care of all the things that are impacting their health, and then they wonder why they have health complications. You don't take care of the things in your environment that are directly leading to you having health issues and obesity-related issues. And okay, well, guess what's going to happen if you don't take care of those things? You're going to have problems. The same way people still think, I know someone that it's like people that think like, oh, I'm going to start eating healthy, and they get like a chicken Caesar salad and they're putting that shit all over it. They're eating this garbage. It's fucking garbage. Well, I'm going to eat healthy. Let me get a salad. Gross.
What to do, what not to do with them. Because at the end of the day, it's not our business. You decide what you want to do with your body and what you want to eat and do and how you want to live.
Okay, so there's a lot of things here. I don't want to go too far into it, but yeah, you have freedoms to a point. You do. But you can't just do anything you want because it does affect society. So if we're living in a society, just saying culturally, okay, like, yes, you should have the freedoms to do things, right? And people can stay out of each other's business. But at the same time, you're welcome to your opinions, right? She's welcome to her opinions. I'm welcome to mine. But I'm just saying it does affect society as a whole. I think this is something that shouldn't change with laws. It shouldn't change from the top down. It should change from the culture. So if we extract the pussification of our society, these types of things won't be the outcome. So I'm not saying people should have the right to make certain choices or food choices, right? So here's the thing. I'm not saying that McDonald's or Burger King shouldn't exist. In fact, I think that they shouldn't exist, but they shouldn't exist because people choose not. So if everyone stops purchasing, if everyone all of a sudden stopped buying, people just stopped literally, boom, across the world. No one went to a McDonald's, and guess what? They're going to go out of business. They're going to shut the stores, right? Just like Bud Light is laying off people because, people don't buy that piss water anymore. They fucked up. They never apologized. They didn't do anything right. They're like, okay, they want to lose all their money and they want to, people are going to get fired and laid off because they don't need people to make as much beer anymore. They're going to shut down breweries. They're going to shut down. So I don't think these things should exist, but not because they shouldn't have the right to exist. I think if people, I mean, honestly, you can very well make laws about not using genetically modified ingredients by pumping corn and soy. There are a lot of things that just shouldn't be used. But it's just like laws that are on the books that don't get enforced because some laws are just stupid and culturally people aren't going to pay attention to them. So there are a lot of laws that don't get enforced because it's just not culturally acceptable to enforce certain laws. So just because it's in law doesn't mean it's going to be enforced on a cultural level. So I think people should be allowed to make certain things or produce certain products, but at the same time, people shouldn't fucking buy them. And that's the thing. If people buy them, then they're going to make money and they're going to keep on making more of those products. It's a business. If everyone stopped buying this fucking shit, then guess what? They're not going to have a business. So, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, again, I think by default, I don't want to infringe on people's rights to do things. I'm more than welcome to my opinion on whether or not they should do things, but I'm not trying to control what other people do. I want them to come to the realization like, hey, this is a terrible idea and make that decision for themselves. Again, these companies or these food products and these things would not exist if people just stopped buying them or made it clear that they're not going to buy them anymore. Hey, if you're putting this stuff in the food, I'm not buying that shit. Right? Nesquik or Coca-Cola, we're not buying that shit anymore. It would disappear from the shelves fucking overnight. And you know it would. Period. So, and other products would be more successful and there'd be more money going elsewhere. So because of the whole Bud Light thing, it's not that people stop being fucking lazy alcoholics. They're still buying beer. They're just buying Modelo or they're buying other brands. So it's not like people just stop drinking beer. People aren't going to stop eating food. They're just going to make different food choices. So if everyone all of a sudden said, we want regenerative farming or we want beef and we want this, then there'd be all that money, all that focus, all that attention would go to, there's tons of land in this country. There's so much space. There's so much, ability to facilitate different types of agriculture. I'm not saying there wouldn't be growing pains and there would be issues with producing and upscaling things like overnight, but it wouldn't happen overnight. But you get my point. If people aren't buying it, they're not going to make it. That's all it is. If someone demands a product and they make it and people buy it, then they're going to keep on making the product as long as it's profitable. If it's not profitable, they stop making it. People stop buying oat milk and that garbage. All right. So I guess let's just.
And I decide over my body and they decide over their body and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So it's not wrong eating a lot of food.
It is.
It's not a bad thing. It's not immoral.
It is.
We all have to eat.
In my opinion.
And the only thing.
So we all have to eat, so I can just eat whatever I want. Like, yeah, it is immoral in many ways, right? Do you think it's immoral to just self-loathe and to harm your body and to eat to excess? You can make a very good argument that it is immoral to just trash yourself. So anyway, again, treading over people's rights and be like, you can't eat those things. It should come from within. You should want to make better choices. Is it wrong? Shut the fuck up. It's all subjective there. I mean, it's objectively bad for you, but just because you can make an argument that it's not morally wrong, which is a weird one, don't you want to be healthier? You can tell yourself whatever you want. Brainwashing is a real thing. You can delude yourself very easily.
What matters is that we feel good in our own bodies and that we can enjoy life and manage through life. And
So you can't enjoy life when you're morbidly obese. It's very challenging. Anyone that's overweight or morbidly obese to that point, the way she looks, you're not enjoying your life to the fullest. You're not comfortable. You can tell yourself whatever you want, but you're not physically comfortable. Any of you been morbidly obese like that and lost a lot of weight? And the reason that people try to justify that is because they don't change. They don't have that perspective. Everyone deserves love and morality, and you can have a love your life. Are you going to love your life if you're 400 pounds as much as you will if you're 150? You have trouble getting into cars, standing up, you're out of breath, walking down the street or up 6 fucking stairs. It's not comfortable. You have trouble sleeping at night. You have trouble maneuvering in a bathroom or a bathtub to the point where you have to complain about airplane seats or toilets and stalls because you're too fucking fat for a goddamn room. Come on, man. No one, look, anyone who's been obese or is currently obese that uses their brain cells to, maybe a 30% capacity, maybe 20%. And this has nothing to do with making fun of obese people. Quite the opposite. Take ownership of your life, make those positive changes, and you can make changes. Why are some people losing tons of fat and making positive changes? Guess what? Because they changed their fucking habits and they're doing it properly. So it's totally possible. So that's the problem. When you're actively trying to justify being obese, there's the evil, there's the sinister and the immoral nature, because you're promoting that to other people who are susceptible to your bullshit. So you're actually spreading death and disease, and we won't stand for it. No, we won't.
What's your name, fat body?
Let's get into we'll do one throwback publicly, but you're missing out on overtime. We're going to go into overtime right now, but throwback first. All right, here we go.
What's in the box?
Throwback.
Today is a good day.
Y quensuocha y famaje.
Fun fact.
Jesus Christ.
Everybody's fat phobic. Yo skinny ass is fat phobic.
Tennessee Pride, fresh sausage links.
Other fat people are fat phobic.
Hey, whoa. Bitch, I ain't skinny. I'm not skinny. Who are you calling skinny?
I'm fat phobic. Everybody's fat phobic.
You don't know me.
Because it's a key component to not only capitalism.
No, it's not.
But to colonialism.
She's such an idiot!
Oh, you're one of those cunts. Jesus Christ. But my colonialism. Okay, that was nice. At the bow. All right, good
what
video.
What the hell kind of country is this where I can only hate a man if he's white?
Excellent. Stupid is as stupid does, what Forrest Gump said. Okay. Jeez. That was a great edit. Oh, my goodness. Man. People say the darndest things. They say the darndest things. Look, if you're trying to justify your obesity because of colonialism, yeah, just say that you love cake. Just say, I love cake. I don't want to give up cake. If you want to be obese and a glutton, just admit it and do it. But just think about this. There's a lot of things that people do, and we'll end on this. There's a lot of people that think that things that people do that are inconsistent with what's really going on. If you're trying to justify it so hard on social media, you don't really believe it. You're trying to convince yourself. It's just like when people post tons and tons of pictures and videos of their relationship and they're doing like, look how in love we are. Look how in love we are. There's some serious insecurities there. Serious insecurities if you have to share every last thing to try to prove to the world how good of a relationship you have with your significant other or whatever it is. Right? Or you're flexing so hard trying to show your car and wear all these things and watches and show the money, right? You're holding stacks, a couple rubber bands, yo. You're just trying to convince yourself you're full of shit. You're being inauthentic. If you have to show people how much money you have or show people all the time and how good you look and all this different stuff, and like, you're not doing it for you're not being authentic. You don't believe what you're actually saying. You're trying to make other people, and you're trying to convince yourself in the process. So if you're secure with who you are, if you love being obese and you're really satisfied with who you are, like, you don't need to be an activist about it, because then you're delusional. You're trying to promote that you are unhealthy objectively. That's not a flex. That's not something to be proud about. If you want to do that with your life, you know what? It's your life. If you want to just eat garbage and be fucking fat and have I don't think it's a wise move. I would encourage you to improve yourself, but at the same time, I can't actually stop you, nor would I want to. That's not appropriate. I'm not trying to control your life, but I'm well deserving of my opinion. I'll say whatever, I'll make whatever sounds in whatever order out of my face hole that I want. So you don't have to like the sounds that come out of my face hole. I don't care if you do. You're not required to. If you were really offended by the sounds coming out of my face hole, then those sounds are not for you. It also doesn't mean that they're not correct. Just because you don't like something that I say doesn't mean that it's not accurate. So if you're really, truly happy with what you're doing, you shouldn't care about what anyone thinks. And you don't have to defend it so hard. Right? Like if everyone's like, oh my God, why do you have so many clubs and machines and you're spending money on all these things? Like, I don't care what people's opinions are. I enjoy this stuff. I love that stuff. Like, I'm going to do that. I'm living my life my way. I don't need to justify it to anyone else. But that's what you see when you're trying to justify and defend. What happens when someone's really defending themselves? Like excessively and really trying to and just not making like you're guilty, right? It comes off very inauthentic. It comes off as insincere, especially when it's something like poor health. You're blaming colonialism for your fat ass. That's insane. That's insane. If you're 200 pounds overweight, it has nothing to do with what happened in the fucking 1700s. Had fucking nothing to do with it. It's like, Jesus Christ. You know? It's like, oh, I can't go to the gym today because my great-grandfather. What are you talking about? What in the ever-loving fuck are you talking about? Okay, let's give away today's Swole card, and then we got some fucking overtime. Hashtag driving while gaining, DWG, because that's what we're going into right now. Let's fucking go. Let's kick it off. Who wants a DWG card? Blame Canada. Oh, do I ever. Canadians are so nice, though. You need to go to the fucking gym. If you really want to, eh? Okay, let's see. Scroll, missed. Your ears are fat. I just saw a Cerny post. One more time. 2 zeros. 2 goose. Dos goose. All right, I'm going Daily Swole Telegram chat. Shane Pittman, you are the winner of today's Swole card. Mr. Shane. I'm going to hit you with a fire emoji. Congratulations. Send us an email to support@swolenormous.com. Swole card 2639. The subject, your mailing address in the bio of the email. Congratulations, Shane. And because you are a winner of today's Swole card, I am going to give you the honor of your favorite soundboard.
There's Tiny Tuck, Typical Tuck, Total Tuck, and the Tyrannical Tuck.
That was Shane's personal request. Congratulations. That's everyone, just so you guys know, that's officially Shane's. Every time Shane does something, that's his soundboard. That's Shane, you got to be careful what you say, because that is officially your soundboard. That you own that soundboard. That's yours, brother. That's yours.
Are you not entertained?
Now I'm keeping it just for you. Shane's over there like, God damn it. Fuck. Son of a bitch.
No more shenanigans, no more tomfoolery, no more ballyhoo.
So whenever we want to troll Shane, that's the soundboard.
Looks like a bus station with total recall.
Well, I could be wrong, but I believe diversity is an old wooden ship that was used during the Civil War era.
I should rename it Shane's Tuck. The Tuck of... Instead of the Walk of Shame, the Tuck of Shane.
60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
Everyone's requesting tyrannical tuck now.
I better use my strong hand.
Oh, look at the church. Oh. So tucked away.
Another example of cake gender would be if someone feels like they have different layers or flavors to their particular gender.
Fam, head on into the Daily Swole Telegram chat. We got overtime going on right now. We went long. I forgot. I almost forgot overtime. Well, I didn't forget overtime, but like, got distracted. Distracted. Oh. Why, thank you, Labs. I'm an old man, right, Cerny? I'm an old man.
Ever served in a forward area?
I gotta make some gains for my birthday.
You trying to squeeze an inch in on me somewhere,
Ooh.
huh?
Look at that KC. The tuck of Shane. Coast to coast. Oh, that's great. I love it. I love it. The tuck of Shane. The tuck of Shane. Oh my goodness. Wow. Wax, you're making me blush. Your body is fit and you look great, Papa Swole. Not only that, your smile shows how healthy you are. Well,
I'd be the luckiest guy alive if that did it for me.
All right. I'll take it. Well, thank you. Feeling sharp. Feeling good. Feeling good today. We talked about yesterday, I had a sick chest and back where my delayed onset, I'm telling you, maximum swole, that really makes me sore. I'm starting to get sore. Tomorrow it's probably going to be like a toiga. It's good. It's good. Oh my God. I feel good. I feel great. Sick fucking nasty pump. Got a shit pump yesterday. It's fucking gnarly. I'm going to be old. No, not really. But 40. I want to be the swollest. This next decade. If this is the start of 40, this is going to be a big decade. Nothing really changes. Nothing changes. And I'm going to have a sick leg workout on my birthday. That's the number one thing. A sick leg pump. Sick. It's going to be intense. All right. Mama will be up on you like a spider monkey. He trimmed all his gray hairs from his beard. I don't have any gray hairs. I'm not going to have gray. I'm going to have white. I'm not going to have gray. My grandfather. So one thing that I know, because isn't it genetically, that's not a myth, is it? It's your hair. It's the father on your mother's side. I don't think is it always the mother? I've always said that and I've always heard that, but I don't know if that's a myth or just something that people say. I don't know if that's confirmed. But anyway, bottom line, my grandfather on my mom's side was fucking beard and to the end, white hair, always got haircuts. I don't have any signs of I'm not losing hair. It's not going anywhere. So it hasn't yet at all. But I don't think it's going to be, because I get a lot of sun. So sometimes you have really light blonde just because it's out or I'm in the plunge and that has hydrogen peroxide in it. So it kind of gets white. No, I'm going to be white. Yeah, I'm going to look like fucking Gandalf. For sure. Is it a myth? Either way, I'm going to have white fucking hair. It's going to be white. It's going to be fucking epic. It's going to be epic. We'll see. I mean, or it maintains longer, right? I mean, I don't know. Or maybe because of the way I eat, maybe. I guess we're going to fucking find out. We'll find out on episode, I don't know, 11,000 or whatever the fuck it's going to be. All right. Let's get into, let me hit that button. Overtime. Oh, shit.
Finish him.
All right. We're going into OT. Enough of this bullshit, fam. Head on into the Daily Swole Telegram chat, and we are going to go Hambone Jones. It's going to be awesome. All right, members only, swolenormousx.com will have the replay available as soon as possible after the stream. And, hopefully you can catch us right now. If you're a new member, it's in your Get Started series when you log in. But when you log in, you'll see also on the homepage, in your header, in your dashboard, on the billboard kind of area, you'll see the two main Telegram chats. We have the Swole fam and the Daily Swole. It's the Daily Swole Telegram, the same place where you watch the show every day. That's why we do it there. All right, fam, thanks for being here. We're going into OT. We're going to have some sweet beats. 2 minutes, 2-minute warning. So 2 minutes until overtime starts, and it starts right now. Peace, McGeese. Deuce, Magoose.
I gave it a 10. A 10. A fucking 10.
Your boy, Papa Swolio. Out.